What's going on, YouTube? Hey man, I'm back with another video, man. I definitely want to make a video where basically tell you, man, a little bit about me, man. Like, get behind the scenes of why I am the way I am, like where I grew up from, basically like why I do the stuff I do, and to tell you about, man, I feel like one of the most tragic days, but also one of the most, I'll say, pivotal days that like really changed my life and my mentality for forever. Basically, man, I just want to talk about basically the day I died, man, and basically where I grew up from. So I start off first, man. Basically, I had got a phone call that one of my homegirls basically was needing a ride from a house party, and the way it works, because of my job and me being in the military, like I was basically a certain pay grade, so you always have to look out for your brother and sister. Basically in arms, man, like if I'm supposed to be, you know, your friend or whatever you want to be, your soldier, your sailor, your airman, you know what I'm saying? Whatever anybody call it, man. If we all supposed to look out for each other, right? It's all supposed to be a special bond. So basically, I got a phone call saying that, you know, hey, we kind of drunk. It was 2 females. We kind of drunk. I need, can you give us a ride home? So, all right, man. I'm like, yeah, no worries, man. I'm getting off my second job. At the time, I was working a second job. So I'm like, yeah, man, I'm getting off work anyway. So I'll come through, scoop y'all up, man. It is what it is. So fast forward, I get to the little house party. Normally I have my gun with me. I've always told him my gun, but at this time I didn't have my gun because, like I said, I was just getting off work. So basically I get to the house party, man. One of the young ladies grabbed me at the door. I go up to the door. So I walk in. As I'm taking them out, basically her and her friend, as I'm taking them out for us to go back to my car, basically 2 guys come in the door. So I didn't hear what was exchanged because it was a lot going on. I remember seeing the 2 guys, and I remember him saying something to one of the girls. And at the time, I don't know what was actually said, but I know whatever the conversation was, he basically got upset and he punched her in the face. So if anybody knows me, they know that like I really don't tolerate disrespect. I don't tolerate hitting women. I don't tolerate that type of stuff, especially not in my presence. So it was basically a natural reaction for me to instantly step in. So I instantly stepped in and I ended up knocking him out. So I knocked him out. His friend jumped in. I knocked him out. It was a very quick exchange, but the thing that I didn't know was they had 2 more friends that were right behind them outside the door. So I end up taking the girls and us stepping outside to 2 more people jumping on me and stabbing me 5 times. So I end up being stabbed 5 times. It was basically in our exchange, I was still fighting and I didn't even know I was stabbed. So I remember having the girls behind me being in between them and the attackers, trying to protect them with my adrenaline going. I remember hearing somebody screaming and crying and saying, I'm gonna call the police. So from there, they took off running. And I stood there, and I remember turning around to say, hey, it's okay, they're gone. It's okay. And I remember people coming out of the, because it basically was an apartment. I remember people coming out of the party and just going quiet. Everybody's face that I saw was like a stuck face. So as I'm like saying, it's okay, come here, it's okay, like, come here, let me check you out, it's okay, I remember trying to take a step forward to check on them, and like, I was like, dang, like, why do I feel so weak? And I remember taking another step, and like, my shoulder dropped, and I remember stumbling, and I remember like putting my hand on the wall. And it's so crazy because I'm like, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? And I remember looking down and doing like this, and it was all blood. And at the moment, I just couldn't fathom, like, where is all this blood coming from? It just didn't even hit my mind to even wonder, like, this is my own blood. So, long story short, they end up pushing me in my own car, holding my wounds, and I just remember seeing like the street lights. As you passed them, the street lights were just flashing. The street lights were just flashing. And in that moment, I didn't think like, am I gonna die? I just thought about like, dang, I'm glad that they're okay. I remember getting to the hospital, and I remember all the nurses running out. I remember them picking me up, putting me in the wheelchair. I remember them picking me up, putting me on the table. And I specifically remember the doctor coming in and saying, hey, we believe that you have a collapsed lung. Your lung has collapsed down to 5%. And if we don't operate on you right now, you're not gonna make it. I remember thinking like, at that moment, that was probably the moment where, the most surreal moment where everything kind of just slowed down. Like, everything slowed down. And that's when I had a moment to feel like, okay, well, dang, this is pretty serious. Like, I'm not hurting. I never passed out. But to hear somebody say, like, you're gonna perish, you may perish, it's kind of crazy. So I remember saying, okay, like, let's do this. Let's do it. And I remember them putting me under. Now, fast forward, by the time I came to, one thing that like I will possibly never forget, and I always told myself that in this world, it's a couple things that I will probably never let happen. And the reason I'm so tough, and the reason I stand on, like, as people call it, I stand on business when it comes to certain things, like, I don't run from nothing. And I think that one thing that I will never, ever as a man, either A, let my wife see me like that, or let my mom and my grandma and my family see me like that. What I mean is, when I woke up to the face expression on their faces, like they had lost me or I was dying, was probably one of the realest moments for me being a man, is to almost feel like I let them down, or that feeling I gave them of worry and like, am I gonna make it? That's not a feeling that, you know, you want to have, especially as me being one of the only males. I'll say me being one of the only male leaders in my family. From there, I probably had like 3 more surgeries, and I had 2 more chest tubes, because since my lung had collapsed, I was getting fluid in my lung, so I had to have a chest tube in there to drain the fluid as it would come in, until basically my lung got better. Basically from that, I couldn't walk, I couldn't shower by myself, I almost dang near couldn't sleep by myself. It was probably one of the moments in my life where I'll say like I was depressed. You don't have a purpose. When you can't do for yourself, when you can't move for yourself, when you can't use the bathroom for yourself, that's probably like one of the most horrible things for a male, especially somebody that was, I've been active all my life. I've been able to walk around all my life. I've been able to do for myself all my life. I'm literally the one that does for everybody else. So having people to basically have to do everything for me, I'm not gonna lie, it takes a lot out of you. Not only for me to sit there and have to take it because I can't physically do something for myself, but mentally your mind is still there. And basically to have to depend on other people, it was tough. That played a big factor in why I do all the stuff I do, why I play hard, why I work hard, why I do all that. And I just want to say, man, like, this is a part of me, this is a part of my story that I really don't tell people, and I never really have told people until this moment. And it's like, I know sometimes people see me and they just can't figure me out. They can't understand, like, dang, why does he go so hard sometimes? Like, that's just why. So I just want to say, man, that like, no matter what tragedy you go through, no matter what situation you go through, no matter how dark it looks, no matter how depressed you are, no matter how much money you don't have, no matter how much stuff you don't have, no matter how lonely you are, you can come back from that situation. You just have to have that mental capacity. And I would like to say sometimes you have to have that mental fortitude to keep pushing. You're not gonna be down every day. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be able to go and ball every day. You're not gonna be able to hit the spot every day. You're not gonna be able to hit the scene every day. But shoot, when it's up, it's up. You can go out every weekend when you want to, once you put that work in. But until then, man, I just want to say, like, making sure you stick to your grind, making sure you do what makes you happy. That's the only way you're gonna survive. Make sure you keep people around you that support you, that love you. Like, that's gonna be that support system. And if you a man, make sure you have a purpose. You gotta have a purpose. Once you find that purpose, stick to it. Get obsessed with it. Stay consistent. It's gonna pay off. It's gonna pay off. So I just want to say, man, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. And I'm gonna show y'all where I grew up, man. So I know I started off with some bad news and stuff like that, man, but it's not really bad. It just, you know, we all have a story, man, and this is just my time to tell my story, man. So I do have some news. Also, I've had the opportunity to basically move my family over to Italy. So here coming up, man, I'll be taking my wife over to Italy, man, where I think it'd be the best life for us. My wife loves me unconditionally. She loves me so much, man. Like, I really appreciate everything that she does for me. I appreciate her support. I appreciate her being there and basically always putting my dreams and my decisions first. So I've decided to, well, actually we decided to, we want to go to Italy. So we'll possibly be over there, man, where the food is good, the crime is low. We can travel. It'll just be literally, man, a new adventure for us. And, possibly now time for us to, raise a family. Because I've been so involved in work that, I'm one of those people where if I ever bring a child into the world, I want to be around. There is no way that, like, I'm going to put work over my family. It's just, this is the time that we chose to do this, because with her going to school, with her wanting to chase her dreams, we just kind of felt like this might be the time. And why not in a place like Italy, overseas, away from the United States? I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a political person. I don't get in the conversation or debates with politics and all that, man. I just do think that this world, well, I'm not gonna say the world, but the US right now, it's a real violent place. There's a lot of hidden messages and everything, the food, cartoons, the school system. It's a lot of hidden stuff, everything, man. And I feel like if you don't raise your kids and you're not in your kids' life, somebody will or something will raise your kids. If it's a tablet, the internet, the teachers, the music, somebody or something is gonna raise your kids. So I just feel like, I got the opportunity. So that's what we gonna do. So I also want to show y'all, man, where I grew up. And cause some people also look at me and be like, dang, man, Dre always had money, he always looked good, you know what I'm saying? He always had the Jordans, he always had the J's on, he always had the nice cars, he always had bikes, he always traveling, he always doing some other stuff. And I just want to say, man, like, I do this all for motivation. Hey, so this is basically, man, like, where I grew up, man. I grew up behind Paxson, man. You know what I'm saying? Over here. I ain't gonna say the street name, man, because I don't want people coming over here, man. But this is literally the house I was born in, man. Yeah, it's old, man. It's shut down. I remember coming back here, having the trash cans. I remember having a dog, having my grandma, my mama buy me playgrounds and stuff like that, man. This literally, man, was my childhood. And it's so crazy because they took this actual part right here was an actual den area. So I guess they like took the den off and made it an actual like little patio area. I'm pretty sure it's not open. I think they done like shut it down because nobody's bought it. Yeah, I ain't gonna break into it or nothing like that. But I remember having like my little playground set with my slide, and I would have my dog out here, and I would just be having fun, man. And it's so crazy to see like where I come from to where I grew up. As you can see, that right there was actually a door, and they made a wall, because how it is that was a door to a room, and then it was an L shape, and so you'll have like my grandma room, and then be my room, and then it was you turn right and it was an L, and then it was a little hallway, then it was my mom's room, and then you had the kitchen, and then that was a living room that you stepped down in, and then you stepped down into another den. And basically, you can see it's like they basically tore it up because that was a little den area. But yeah, this is basically, man, like, it's so crazy to see where you come from and then where you are in your life. And I honestly, man, I challenge people. I want to challenge y'all, man, to just sit back and be appreciative of what you have and see how far you come, man, and like see how much better that you're doing, and really focus and lock in and give yourself, man, I always tell people, man, give yourself 90 days. 90 days can change your life, right? 90 days can change your life. At 180 days, that's when people gonna start to notice. He's sliding that mother, I ain't gonna lie. So 90 days can change your life, and at 180 days, that's when everybody gonna start to notice. All right. So literally, like, that was like these two was in my room, because I had 2 windows in my room, and then basically as you turn, this was like the other room, and then you had the kitchen. That was the actual kitchen right there, and that was the front, man. I remember the school bus coming and dropping me off right here in front of the house. You know what I'm saying? I remember taking pictures right here in front of everything. I remember walking down to the corner store down there. I basically grew up here, man, until my grandma had got another home and we moved somewhere else, man. I had to take a moment to come back and just kind of, you know, see how far I come, for real, and see where I'm at in life, and just to appreciate the small things. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate my family. I appreciate all the women in my life. I appreciate my support system, man. And that's how we go, man. Like, you gotta lock in, man. I really like posting. The reason I post the stuff I do, the reason I do the stuff I do, is really for two things. For 2 things, man. To give people and to give kids that look like me, come where I come from, that don't have it across the world, but just know you can make it out to a situation. You know what I'm saying? As long as you put that work in, as long as you got the determination, you can make it out to a situation. You can make it. You can have whatever you want. You can dream big, shoot for the moon, shoot for the sun, and you'll land on the stars. Like, you can have whatever your heart desires. You just have to put the work in for it. You have to put the work in for it. The second thing, man, is I post because I'm always doing fun stuff, and I remember myself, like, I want to be able to look back on this when I was young. I want my kids to be able to look back when I was young. I want my kids to be able to look back at this type of stuff and be like, dang, man, like, I can make it too. My uncle was doing great. Like, I can do that too. I could be better than him. You know what I'm saying? So I always want to have this, like, almost like a video log of the stuff that I can do, I'm capable of doing, that I can do, all that stuff, man. Like, I just want to be able to look back and cherish the memories throughout my life, because I've known plenty of people, man, that were here and they're gone and they have nothing to show for it. I just never want to be like that. I never want to be like that. So this is my story, man. If you can relate and you got a story, man, or if you're going through anything, you depressed, man, you need somebody to talk to, I say, man, reach out to me. I'm not hard to find, man. I'm not hard to find. My IG on there. Hit me up on YouTube. I'm always on there, man. If you're going through anything and you need somebody to talk to or listen to, I just say hit me up, man. This is one of those videos where I just want to get personal, so that way, you know, people can really feel my story, and I can relate to y'all, and I can really understand y'all story, because like I said, I know that everybody has a story. So what I ask of y'all is, man, is y'all like, comment, and subscribe, man. Go ahead and check the other videos out, man. All that. Like, you might see something you like. You might see something you like. I'm telling you, man, it's free. You don't have to pay nothing. I'm not asking y'all to buy nothing. It's free, bro. All I'm saying is this: get on there, watch some videos. You might have a little fun. You might smile. Hey, shoot, and then even too, like, we might do some content. If any of y'all ever in Italy, man, hit me up. we could get some content going, man. It don't have to be hard, man. I swear, like, I don't mind supporting anybody. Support is free, bro. It's free. I don't get why y'all won't do it. It's free. But hey, man, that's the end of the video, man. We out.